Hi, and welcome to Voices from the Left. I'm your host, Craig. Thanks for listening. The following is a primer for the full episode about Socialist Albania. During World War II, Italy invaded Albania and eventually assumed control of the government and military. The following is a speech given by Enver Hoxha in 1944 regarding the Democratic Government of Albania's opposition to fascism. This speech is in the public domain and can be found on the Marxists Internet Archives. The citation will be in the show notes. Declaration of the Democratic Government of Albania at the second meeting of the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council of Albania, October 23, 1944. In this great anti-fascist liberation war, in which all the progressive peoples, united in face of the danger threatening mankind, have thrown in all their energies in a common effort against the Nazi fascist barbarians. Our heroic people, with the greatest self-sacrifice, have made their contribution to the liberation of the homeland and the wiping out of the fascist plague. The Albanian people courageously undertook the most terrible and at the same time the most glorious war ever known in our history, and have shown in deeds which will remain in lasting monuments for the future generations of our country, that the blood of their heroic ancestors still flows in the veins of Albanians, and that their spirit is endowed with the lofty virtues characteristic of our people. In face of the great torrent threatening to engulf our country, the people, regardless of their sufferings, hunger, burnings, and killings, embarked on the only road of salvation through which they were to smash the dreadful shackles of slavery, the road of merciless war against the occupiers and the traitors of the country. Through their war against savage and powerful enemies equipped with the most modern weapons, the Albanian people fought their way step by step to glory to raise high the name of Albania and the Albanians, earning for our country the respect of the whole world, and through the blood of their glorious sons, the right to take their place alongside all those peoples who undertook the great task of the salvation of mankind. In the flames of this liberation war, our heroic National Liberation Army was set up. The army of our invincible people, which dealt mortal blows to the occupiers and traitors, and in fighting bloody battles armed and steeled itself with determination, discipline, and great experience. Through struggle and efforts, the National Liberation Councils were set up, which became the true democratic state power of the people, and which, together with our army, constituted the principal factor in our victories. Parallel with the victories of the army, the organization of our state power, too, passed from one glorious stage to another, gradually becoming perfected. Pisa, Labano, Permet, and Berat are the four glorious stages of our war. The Great Congress of Permet, where the delegates of the Albanian people elected the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council of Albania, invested it with legislative and executive powers, gave Albania the Anti-fascist Committee, the principal executive and directing organ of the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council. The second historic meeting of the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council of Albania, held in the liberated town of Berat, gave Albania its first democratic government. The principal executive and directing organ through which the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council fulfills its executive functions. The Democratic Government of Albania, conscious of the duties it has been entrusted with, will remain loyal to the decisions adopted at the Congress of Permet, will be the continuation of the Anti-fascist Committee, and will implement and uphold all the military and political principles of the national liberation movement on a wider scale. The government, exercising its functions, declares to the entire Albanian people: 1. The Democratic Government of Albania will remain loyal to the decisions adopted at the Anti-fascist National Liberation Congress of Permet and by the Anti-fascist National Liberation Council of Albania. This government will continue in the footsteps of the Anti-fascist Committee. 2. The objective of the government is the continuation and extension of the war, the rapid and complete liberation of Albania, and the defense of its independence. 3. The Democratic Government of Albania will rally all the forces of the Albanian people around the National Liberation State power and will strengthen the power of the National Liberation Councils. 4. The Democratic Government of Albania, after the complete liberation of Albania, and after stabilizing the situation, will proceed to hold free and democratic elections to the Constituent Assembly, which will decide on the form of the state and formulate the founding constitution of the Albanian state. 5. The Democratic Government of Albania will review all the political, military, and economic agreements concluded with foreign states by the Zog regime, and will cancel all those which are to the detriment of the Albanian people and state. 6. The Democratic Government of Albania will guarantee and defend all the civil rights of the citizens. 7. The Democratic Government of Albania will try to establish closer cooperation with the Great Allies, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and the United States of America, as well as with all the other members of the anti-fascist bloc. 8. The Democratic Government of Albania will seek recognition as the sole government of Albania from the Great Allies, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and the United States of America, as well as all members of the anti-fascist bloc. On behalf of the Democratic Government of Albania, Prime Minister and Supreme Commander of the National Liberation Army of Albania, Colonel General Enver Hoxha. That does it for the show. Don't forget to rate and review on whichever platform you use to listen. Special thanks to Nick Josephs for the use of the theme song. You can find Nick on Spotify and on the web at nickjosephs.com. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you'd like to support the show, you can subscribe on patreon.com/voicesfromtheleft or donate on buymeacoffee.com/voicesfromtheleft. All the links will be in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and solidarity.